Yeah, go for it. So, good evening and welcome along to another Republic of Motorsport broadcast. This is the official Season 3 reveal, and I'm delighted to be joined by the one, the only, MatthewConibeer. How are we doing, my good friend?
Well, I'm introducing myself for the fourth time, so it's getting a bit tedious, but I mean, the first time we had no technical difficulties ever because this is a smooth operation. I'm excited to be here. We're here for the pre-season stream for ROM Season 3, and just excited to be back. Smooth back, ready to watch some fantastic racing once again.
Yeah, it's been a humdinger. We are now on the third season in the Republic of Motorsport, the Sunday afternoon league, which normally curtails around the F1 calendar itself. And talking of the calendar, Matt, what have we got upcoming? Have we got any testing taking place before we get into the meet good and proper?
Well, Rich, I'd be happy to tell you that we do have pre-season testing. At Paul Ricard, in the coming weeks, we'll be heading there for the drivers to sort of find their way on this new game, sort of see how they compare to each other before they get racing. They can dial in any sort of setup work they need to do and get themselves prepared for the long season to come.
So talking of the long season to come, a mammoth 24 rounds in this Republic of Motorsport Season 3 this year. And what have we got to kick us off this year, Matthew?
Well, it looks like we are sort of mimicking the real life season, and our round one will be held at the Bahrain International Circuit. It's a fan favourite, and we're definitely going to get some fantastic racing in that opening race.
So at Bahrain, we've seen high drama over previous seasons. We've seen the traumatic scenes of Romain Grosjean. We've seen in the Sakhir Grand Prix, Sergio Perez claim his maiden victory. And then we head to China, Matt. China? Surely not.
Well, for some strange reason, China has made its way onto the F1 2021 game. We were kind of hoping, when we said bye-bye to F1 2020, that we'd also be saying goodbye to China. But we're not, and it's here, and we will be racing there this season. China's done up some decent races in the past as well. My mind instantly goes to, and Rich is going to love me for bringing this one up, to 2007.
2007.
Anything interesting happen at China 07, Rich? Something with a young British driver, I seem to remember.
A young British driver. I'm no way by a fanboy, but certain Lewis Hamilton, yeah, he ran his tyres bald, his intermediate tyres, ran into slicks. He ran into the pit lane where there used to be a gravel trap on the entry to the pit lane, and he got beached there and he lost out in that Grand Prix after running a fantastic race. But let's get on to this. We can't wait on that. But that was pain, and we move on to Spain for round 3.
Oh, it's even more pain. It's the Spanish Grand Prix. Often in the past has thrown up some pretty boring races. Not in the 2021 season it didn't. Actually threw up a great race, a great strategic race, and I expect it to be no different in ROM. We saw the race there last year. We actually got a bit of rain, I seem to remember, at Circuit de Catalunya last year. Hopefully we get that again. I'd like to see a wet race there.
Tough race for Lando Norris. We also saw a certain Max Verstappen give it large down in the first few turns on that Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton just seed in position. But we head into Monaco for round 4, which is a real driver's circuit, and that's going to definitely benefit any of the wheel users, Matt.
Oh yeah, we've got to get the wheel drivers a good advantage every once in a while, and I'm not saying that because I have a wheel. Monaco's a great track. I love Monaco. The tight technical challenge, it's all about consistency over Monaco. Can you manage to do 39 laps of that circuit without hitting the barriers or failing to get your strategy spot on? We'll see who wins out on that one. Moving swiftly on to round 5. It's one of the greatest modern day circuits to exist, is it not? It's the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. It doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, Baku is definitely the modern day Monaco Grand Prix. You've got the high speed drama. With those bigger cars, there's a bit more room for manoeuvre, a lot more high speed octane action around the streets of Baku, and it's thrown up some of the recent classics. We've seen the two Red Bulls collide of Daniel Ricciardo, Max Verstappen down towards turn 1. We've also seen Charles Leclerc act like an absolute idiot down into the castle section, and of course that iconic moment with Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton bumping wheels on the safety car restart. But as we head from Azerbaijan, it doesn't get any more spicy, does it? What we got after that, Matt?
Oh, we've got the Canadian Grand Prix. It's 3 street tracks in a row, and I love that. The Canadian Grand Prix, full of chicanes, full of history. Just a great racing venue. It's the circuit where Mr. Beeford wrapped up the championship last season. We'll see if he can replicate his win there this season. Got a few sour memories of Canada, not gonna lie. Thinking of 2019. Would not like to see a repeat of that.
Yeah, difficult, a circuit at the best of times, a real punishment in terms of track limits around there, and that Wall of Champions always beckons. But we head from Canada, from the Canadian French region, and we head into Vive la France, the circuit of Paul Ricard. One of the more boring circuits, but the drivers will have a good understanding of that circuit from pre-season. For round 7, it's the French Grand Prix of Paul Ricard. What we got for round 8, Matt?
Round 8, we move on to the Red Bull Ring. It's the Austrian Grand Prix. Of course, a circuit that in real life was dominated by the Red Bull of Max Verstappen this season. We'll see if one of the Red Bull drivers is going to have a shot at winning the ROM equivalent. It's a great circuit, Austria. Great circuit.
Plenty of action over there over the last few seasons. The Styrian, the Austrian Grand Prix, really throwing up some great racing, and yeah, a stronghold for the Red Bulls. But we head into round 9, a switch of formats at the British Grand Prix. We've just witnessed it this weekend, Matt, and what is in store for the drivers this season?
Oh my, we've got sprint qualifying for round 9 at the British Grand Prix. It will come up 3 times this season at 2 venues extra, which we will mention later on. But the British Grand Prix, we will have sprint qualifying. How it's going to work: the drivers will load into the lobby. They will do a 1-shot qualifying session. All drivers will go out and will have 1 lap to try and prove themselves to set their time. That will set the grid for a 5-lap sprint race. And hopefully, for me and Rich's sake in the comms booth, the drivers are going to absolutely send it there. And then that result will set the grid for the Grand Prix. We'll follow it shortly afterwards. I'm pretty excited for that, Rich. I'm not going to lie to you.
You know, it's just going to be absolute full send. And Silverstone, pretty tricky again for track limits, so it's going to be difficult. 1-shot qualifying. Just need to consolidate your position for this sprint race and then head in for the full points of the main event as well. That leads us into round 10. We've got a newbie on the calendar, Matt. And what have we got in store?
It is the Portuguese Grand Prix at Circuit Algarve. Hopefully, it is on the game by the time we get there. Of course, the new circuit's not yet available, but hopefully they will be by the time we reach round 10, because I want to see some racing at that Portuguese circuit. The roller coaster of a circuit, you've got to say, with some insane elevation change.
Moving up and down, side to side, like a roller coaster.
I was waiting for you to do that.
Then we head into one of the classic Grand Prix in the bowl of the Hungaroring, just outside of Budapest, the Hungary Grand Prix, the Hungarian Grand Prix there in Budapest for round 11. One of my favourite circuits, a real driver circuit. We saw Damon Hill really dominate around there in his Arrows car until he really run into some trouble. But yeah, a real driver's favourite for round 11. Going into round 12, another classic circuit, Matt. What we got?
We are going into the Ardennes Forest, Spa-Francorchamps. It's the Belgian Grand Prix, a real classic on the Formula 1 calendar. Plenty of action and a good chance of rain as well, and we do love to see that.
Yeah, Spa always throws up a thrill. We saw it in HSA last season. We had like literally thunderstorms at the end of the Grand Prix. I didn't know it even existed. Let's hope we get some real torrential conditions for that Grand Prix. Always throws up a good one. Then we head into the Orange Army for round 13 in the Netherlands. And that is Zandvoort, a tricky circuit at the best of times. What's your real highlights around Zandvoort, Matt?
Real highlights? NASCAR corner. You've got the heavy banking of that last corner. And the turn one, it's such a tricky circuit to overtake. The only main opportunity is that run down towards the first corner, so you're likely to see drivers going a bit late on the brakes and trying their luck as they get desperate to pass the car ahead.
Then we move into round 14. We head to the Italian Grand Prix.
Oh.
It's not the one you're thinking of, man.
Okay. Boy, you had me a bit worried there, Rich.
We head to Imola, the back garden of Italy. A beautiful Grand Prix. It's been a long while, but my God, I can't wait for this one. This is going to be a real intricate circuit. A bit like Hungary, a real driver's circuit. You're going to need a good balance in your car. Going to favour the likes of a Red Bull around here with a good chassis. But Imola returns to F1 2021.
I'll tell you what, if we miss Portugal, I'll be disappointed. If we miss Imola, that's just going to be an absolute tragedy, alright? Cody's, make sure it's in the game. Sorry, EA, make sure it's in the game. Don't want to miss that one. Moving on to round 15, I'm going to need you to take this one, Rich. I'm suffering here.
So Matt is deeply scarred by the Monza Grand Prix. He's lost out many a time there, crossing the line to a certain ABR boom across the line. But Monza always throwing up a fantastic race. It's a real DRS train of a circuit, and always throws up some great racing there. And that is going to be around 15 of the calendar. And once again, we're going to have a one-shot qualifying followed by a sprint race of 5 laps, which will determine the full grid for the call it a feature race, the full race, where the points get dished out there. And that's going to be a really interesting at Italy. Everyone's going to absolutely be on the button there all the way to the flag. And what's in store for round 16, Matthew?
Hate to disappoint you. It's the Russian Grand Prix. Memories of Russia picking up a load of penalties. Moving on to a more interesting venue that might throw up some good racing. Round 17. It's my personal favourite. It's the Singapore Grand Prix.
Pain. It's a pain in a... Yeah. It's
no,
a tough
it's
race.
not.
I know you love it, man. I know you love it.
I will not have that abuse of my Singapore, Rich. Right? Singapore is the greatest circuit I've ever driven.
Another modern Monaco. You've got the high-speed nature. You're under the lights. You've got the barriers beckoning there. And you've got the humidity to boot as well. Tyre wear is a premium around there. And it's a real tough circuit. One of the longest races on the calendar as well. Some 22 odd corners around that circuit. And that's going to be a real pain in the backside. For the likes of me anyway. For Matt, it's going to be an absolute treat, I'm sure. And mark my words on that. We're heading into round 18 now, though. And we head to the one and only Suzuka. This is the absolute treat of a circuit, and for purists around the calendar, that is one of the highlights in the calendar. Would you agree, Matt?
It is. It always has been one of the highlights on the calendar, and it always will be. It's a great circuit. Suzuka got so much history there as well. You think with the battles of Senna and Prost, and then even continuing into more recent years, that great drive from Kimi Räikkönen in 2005, coming from 17th on the grid to win the Grand Prix on the final lap. And expect some thrilling action on that Suzuka circuit. Moving on to round 19, it's another modern circuit. It's a Tilke circuit, which you might think, oh, this is going to be a bit boring. But it's not. It's one of Hermann Tilke's rare successes. It's the US Grand Prix at Circuit of the Americas.
In Austin, Texas, the USA. Yeehaw! We're going to go down into the USA, and yeah, it's taken the best of everything. So we have got the S's that come from Suzuka. We have the triple right-hander, which is mimicking the triple left-hander of the Turkish circuit in Istanbul. We also have some remnants of the Monaco Grand Prix as well. So they've taken the best of everything. They've whacked it all together in a bit of a mishmash. And we've had some fantastic battles with the likes of Lewis Hamilton, Sebastian Vettel, Lewis Hamilton, and Nico Rosberg in that title decider. And yeah, really throwing up some interesting strategy calls as well. That's going to be a real tough one in terms of track limits once again. But after that Grand Prix, we're going to go a bit more South America. Where are we going, Matt?
Moving on to round 20, was that for the Mexican Grand Prix?
Mexico.
Mexico. I love Mexico, actually, to be fair. It favours those who are consistent at not cutting corners, and I like that.
Well, that's a bit tough for me. I like to cut corners back, you know?
Well, shut up, Rich.
In
Right?
any
Is that
form
why?
of
Is that
race.
why you missed Mexico in CSR last season?
No, never. Never. Moving swiftly on, we head again to the South American continent. We head to Interlagos. Where is that map? And what have we got in store in Interlagos?
The Brazilian Grand Prix. It's gonna be it's Interlagos. It's gonna be a great race. But just to add to the action, that will be our third and final sprint qualifying race of the season. And yeah, expect carnage, because Sao Paulo always delivers. We saw the title decider there, didn't we, in season 1? That was the race in which Stubbsy crushed B Ford's dreams of winning the championship and took it all for himself. And I say that so harshly because B Ford's in the party and I just want to make him feel some pain.
Always a great circuit. It's very you can follow around there very easily. You have some great battles. We witnessed the great MatthewConibeer battling with Snipes SB lap after lap in HSA, one of the partnered leagues over the years, and yeah, fantastic circuit to look forward to. Some great racing, and we have that one shot followed by the sprint 5-lap race, followed by the full 50% Grand Prix. Then we head to one of my favourite Grand Prix, the Australian Grand Prix. Not one of the greatest in real life, Matthew, but in terms of league racing, it's really thrown up some fantastic Grand Prix. And let's look back at CSR Tier 1 last season, shall we?
I wonder why you might have brought that one up, Rich. Do you remember who won that race?
It was a Toro Rosso, I believe. I think it was a Toro Rosso.
Yeah. I think it was Alpha Tauri. Well, who were the Alpha Tauri drivers? It was
Toro Rosso.
It was you and me. We were the Alpha Tauri drivers. No, which one of us won the race?
Well, you was in front, and then
I was, and then I wasn't,
and then I was,
and then there's the checkered flag, and
Yeah.
then you won.
Get in there! Yes, we got the Grand Prix. We got the dub. We won the Australian Grand Prix. Moving swiftly on. Saudi? How do you pronounce it? Saudi
Saudi Arabia, Rich. All right, Saudi Arabia. Come on.
Salam alaikum, Habibi. Kifa hal. Welcome, Eid Mubarak. All the Habibis out there. We're heading to the Middle East once again.
Saudi. I hope Saudi Arabia. I hope that circuit's in the game at least, just so we can test it out. And I hope it's not like Vietnam, because that was an absolute failure. Horrifying circuit. Moving on to round 24, remaining in that same general area, we've got the season finale. It's the only circuit we've not mentioned so far. It's the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
No, Matt. It's the 90-degree Grand Prix.
Oh yes, my personal favourites. And when we get there, trust me, I will be doing my normal bit in the final sector when I do an onboard lap about how many 90-degree corners there are. It's rather annoying. We are getting changes to it though in real life for this season. I mean, the 90-degree corners are staying, but they're apparently making them just that little bit nicer to drive. And I'm a fan of that. Hopefully, we'll get a title fight that takes us all the way to that final race as well.
They're just going to make it even more boring for us, Matt. They're going to make league races a bit fantastic around there, and I just think they're going to take the fun away from us. And that's why the circuit designers are going to do it. Anyway, we've been jibber-jabbing long enough. We need to get into the real meat of this. The title of this stream is about the driver reveal. So, in Season 2, we had in Mercedes, the Constructors Champions, Lorne and Drazzy. A big shock in the championship, Matt. How impressed were you by these two, Lorne and Drazzy, taking it last year?
I was very impressed. It was just a great effort between them, both racking up the big points. Of course, Drazzy finishing second in the championship. He really upped his game for Season 2, did a fantastic job. Fought B4 for the championship, wasn't meant to be, but he got the Constructors nonetheless. Fantastic effort by him.
Yeah, real arduous task. And of course, who was the drivers' champion, Matt?
It was B Ford. He absolutely wiped the floor with the competition last season, as we sort of expected him to do a bit. He definitely was the favourite after Stubbsy's departure. You know, he got it done at the end of the day, and I think it'll be him again this season who will be. What's the opposite of the underdog? The favourite. Sorry, it took me a minute to figure out the English language there.
Who will be the odds-on favourite for the Drivers' Championship this season? He finished a mammoth 100 points ahead of Jazzy, so it just goes to show how good he actually was, how good the Mercedes team were at being consistent, turning up every race, and just scoring consistent points and leading them to that Constructors' Championship. But we've got an all-new lineup for the Republic of Motorsports Season 3, and where should we start with this one, Matt?
Let's start at the bottom. Alright, Rich, let's go from Williams and move our way up this little table I've got in front of me here.
So we've got a few interesting facts as well, guys. No one of the drivers' winners, the drivers' title winners, have actually won the Constructors as well. Will that change coming into this season? Let us know in the chat as well. But yeah, let's start from the bottom. Sorry about the bottom, but we're going to start with the lowest ranked team on the grid and work our way up.
Yeah. We're just going off the list in front of us, alright? It's fine. We're not about to disrespect Williams because they're a crap team, because they're not. That's just because they've got George Russell. They don't have him in the Republic of Motorsport, though. They instead have big man Smegland. That's going to be a disappointment, I can tell you that right now. And and Dinger's D-Money in that other seat. That's going to be a decent lineup. I think they've both got some strong pace.
Both solid drivers, D-Money as well, and he's going to definitely be grinding out this game. The number 92 and 27 cars representing the Williams. One of my favourite liveries on this calendar. One of my least favourite things is that Claire Williams has left the team. I was a big fan of hers, man.
I wasn't. Yeah, it was a shame Williams having to sell up and leave the sport, but the team still lives on. The history's still there, and I'm sure they're going to be making their way back to the top, even if George Russell leaves the team.
So the next team on the grid is the one and only Haas team. Of course, they've just managed to stay in the sport by the skin of their teeth in real life. The likes of the young Nikita Mazepin securing his daddy's money to keep the team afloat, and also Mick Schumacher as well, bringing that sponsorship in from the German sponsors. But we have my driver number on the grid here in number 87, and that is Aki Ang, like AMG. And he has a free seat alongside him, so any Russian billionaires, get in touch and secure your drive on the Republic of Motorsport grid for Season 3. Season 3. The next team up, Matt.
Aye. We've had a few Russian millionaires, haven't we? We've had Vitaly Petrov, Sergei Sorokin, now Nikita Mazepin. Yeah, give one of them the call. Moving on, Alfa Romeo. And Alfa Romeo, I've got a... Who's that first driver, Rich? I feel like I've heard that name before.
Snips.
It's definitely Snips.
SB. Schnips. Was it Schnips? Or Schnaps? I don't know.
I'm going with Snips. That's definitely how you pronounce it. Snipes SB driving in the Alfa Romeo, so expect that to be one of B Ford's main challenges going into this season, and he will be partnered by ROM Ludlow as one of the constructors. No, it's not, sorry. I was about to say it's one of the drivers from last season's Constructors teams, but it's not. Don't listen to me, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Ludlow, full of potential, and definitely needs to deliver on it. Get a bit more consistent going into this year, the number 91 car, and definitely has it all to play for. Now, we have Mr. Showboat. I might call him Mr. Kimi Raikkonen because he loves to party, this guy, especially around the streets of would say streets, but the circuit of Kota. Remember those donuts across the line when he won the Grand Prix. It's Tommy Real, the number 97, representing Ferrari, and he's also got a vacancy up alongside him. So, if you're a young Spaniard, maybe you fancy a seat in the Ferrari, get in touch. We've got a free seat for you.
Absolutely. Tommy Real, I hope he does some donuts before running. He was just so confident in that early part of the season, led the championship for a while, but once again was not meant to be. I think he ended up third in the end in the standings. Still a good effort from him, but I couldn't quite take it all the way. And moving on to our next team.
What did he do?
He for the first time on F1 2021, he bottled it. Just didn't work out for him. Moving on to the next team, Rich. We've got a new name.
Who's that? ROM? Is that the new name?
Oh, look at the team name, Rich. Come on, Rich, get it together. Jeepers creepers. Alpine, for the first time, Alpine will be making an appearance in the ROM grid and driving in that blue livery. It's a very nice livery as well. These guys have definitely got a nice car. It's Drezzy and Lawn. There you go. That's your title-winning team from last year. They're definitely the ones to beat.
Title-winning team, the only car on the grid powered by the Renault power unit. Of course, Renault switching their allegiance to the Alpine brand, much like Mercedes have their AMG department. This is Renault's high-end performance department of Alpine, really promoting it this year. Renault E-Tech engine in the back of that one, but a striking livery. And yes, the constructors champions will be looking for another solid season here. Fernando Alonso returns to the sport once again and having a good season so far. What we got next, Matt?
Oh, it's only the greatest team of all time. AlphaTauri. It's got Constructor Championship winning material written all over it, to be honest. Driving in that machine will be ROM Yanni and ROM Celtic. We'll see what they can do in the Red Bull B team.
Yeah, Red Bull B team, but it doesn't sound any less impressive. That Honda power unit in the back of the car really is naughty, and it should come with a parental advisory sticker on that car, because it's absolute filth when it's off throttle, and that Honda power unit really powering it through the corners. And yeah, we've gone for an inverted livery on the car this year, looking striking, still looking sexy, and that Italian brand still making its mark on the grid. Expect big things, expect more from Celtic this year. I hope him to turn up to more Grand Prix, and Yanni as well. We expect more from you because we know how good you are, mate.
Damn right we do. And moving on, replacing Racing Point, it's Aston Martin, and I think this is the best looking car on the grid. I'm not going to lie to you. I think these two drivers are the luckiest drivers in the world. We got Westerns, car number 25 in the Aston Martin, and his teammate, RSF1 Vettel. Of course, Seb Vettel driving for Aston Martin in real life. RSF1 Vettel, our equivalent, has taken on that seat in the Republic of Motorsport as well.
Striking livery, great to have such a brand, an iconic brand back in the motorsport, and Seb Vettel still living up to his name in Silverstone this weekend and still doing his spinala in the Aston Martin. But yeah, such an iconic car. Beautiful to have it back on the grid, and expect big things from Westerns. Vettel, we hope you turn up a bit more again in this championship. And then we're really heading now into the meets in this grid, Matt, and our final of 3 teams on the calendar.
First of all, we've got McLaren, and that machine, driven by Norris and Ricciardo. The Republic of Motorsport will be driven by AMS Pez and Lucky Lambert. That's a strong team. They're going to go far.
Very strong team, the number 34 AMS Pez. We know what he's all about. He's a multiple race winner on this grid, and of course the McLaren team, powered by that Mercedes power unit this year, it's really started in well. Very difficult to really integrate that engine into that chassis after having the Renault engine in there last year. We know they don't have too many tokens in order to do it. They've done a fantastic job. Really worked on the rear of the car, the rear package so well this year. Such a striking livery. We know what Lando's done with it. Compares to do the same. Lucky Lambert as well. He's there and thereabouts when he needs to be. The number 13 car, can he make it the lucky car as well? We're about to find out this season. Final 2 teams, Matt.
We'll kick it off with Red Bull then. And in Red Bull, we've only got one Red Bull seat taken. There is a spare Red Bull seat. We've got CSR Danny in the number 1 seat, going to be the Max Verstappen of the team. They're still looking for their number 2 driver. That's sort of been the story of Red Bull in real life as well. Still looking for a number 2 driver. Perez hopefully will be taking that seat long term. But in the Republic of Motorsport, if you want to take part, we've got a seat here for you in Red Bull. Just let ROM Ford on Xbox know.
Just need to impress the big helmets and you can get the big drive in that Honda powered Austrian
the big helmet
Red Bull car.
Nice.
Only leaves one team. That's the one and only reigning undisputed champions of the world, Mercedes.
Yes, Poundland. Oh dear, indeed. Driving for... this is a strong team as well. Driving in the Mercedes, we've got number 95 ROM James, and the number 1 driver, the reigning champion of Republic of Motorsport, the number 19 driver, it's Ford. And I think that alone makes Mercedes one of the favourite teams to take this Constructors' battle.
Yes, indeed. The fact that Ford actually has a teammate to contend with, and James has really shown his worth. He's really hot and cold last season, the number 95 driver, but Ford has absolutely pulled rank there and got the number 1 car going into this season.
Well, there you go. That is your driver lineup for the new season of ROM.
So let us know your thoughts and predictions heading into the season. Who is your pick for the drivers, constructors, and your surprise package of the season? I'm definitely going to go with if Snipes is a full-time driver. I'm going to go with Snipes for the championship. He's a real consistent driver. He's taken to this game like a duck to water. I feel like he will be a big protagonist in this title fight, and I feel he'll put my neck on the line, Alfa Romeo, for the constructors at the same time. They're going to break the ducts, excuse the pun, but they're going to get both championships.
Okay, I will say, to go different from you then, I will say reigning champion Ford is going to win back-to-back championships. I'm going to say he'll get that this season. And for the constructors, again, I'll go different from you. Alpine, that's a reigning championship duo. I reckon they're going to do it again. I reckon the reigning champions are going to do it once again.
I've been CSR Skillz. He's been... Who are you again?
Steve?
Oh, Steve-O! Steve-O.
Oh no, not Steve, sorry, that's someone else. I'm
Jeff.
Matt. No, I'm definitely not Jeff. Do not compare me to Jeff. Alright. I've engineered you a few times, Rich. It's not been that bad. Jesus.
So this has been the Republic of Motorsport driver and calendar reveal. We hope to join you for the first Grand Prix. We're going to get into the pre-season testing at Paul Ricard. Join us for that one very, very soon. Make sure you like, subscribe, and don't go anywhere because it's about to go down.